Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to, finally, another video remake. And this is one I put off for a long time. And I guess for those of you who are newer, back in late 2020, early 2021, I started a series where I was going to go back through all of my older videos from back when I started back in 2014. And I wanted to remake those videos with better audio, video, make them a bit longer, more in-depth, and just kind of make them how I envisioned them originally when I set out to do those videos in the first place. And this one, I put off doing for a long time just because I didn't feel it, but right now I am feeling it. So 4 years since I came up with the idea for the video remakes, this will be me taking a look at and showing all of you my entire video game collection, physical video game collection, that is. So yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. And first, let me comb through all of my older videos of video game collections and show all of you what did I say that I had at the time. So let's get into it.
NCAA Football 11, 2009, Madden NFL 11, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, SVR 2010, NCAA Football 2013, Guitar Hero World Tour, Rock Band, the Rock Band Track Pack, Madden 2005, Madden 13, WWE 2K14, TNA Impact the video game, Infamous 2. Now the Sly Cooper games with Phoebus Raccoonus, Band of Thieves, the Ratchet and Clank collection on the PS3, also the first 3 for the PS2. NCAA Football 13, WWE 2K14, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time, Madden 13, TNA Impact the video game, Ratchet and Clank, WWE 12, Infamous 2, Jack 3. I first have Madden 2005, Madden 06, Madden 2007, 2008, 09, Madden 11, Madden 13, NCAA 08, NCAA Football 2009, NCAA Football 11, NCAA Football 13, NFL Game Day 2002, NFL Game Day 2003,
SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown vs. Raw 06, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, 08, 09, SVR 10, SVR 11, WWE 12, and WWE13, and then 2K14 and 2K15. WWE All-Stars, TNA Impact, WWE All-Stars, WWE 2K15, WWE 2K14, SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, WWE 12, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, WWE 13, SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, the Jack and Daxter Collection, Sly Cooper Collection, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, Ratchet and Clank Collection, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, collection of a bunch of Sega Genesis games for the PS3, NCAA Football 13 and 11, Ratchet and Clank, NFL Game Day 2002 and 2003, NCAA Game Breaker 2004, Madden 2005, Jack 3, now WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, and Here Comes the Pain, and 2007, 09 and 10, 08, 07, and SmackDown vs. Raw. Here's 2006, Motocross Mania 3, the first slide, SVR 11, TNA Impact for the PS2, WCW Nitro, Star Wars Starfighter, and WCW versus the World. It's the original game for the PlayStation 1, followed up by Know Your Role. So I got the first two. The next game is Just Bring It. First game on the PS2. Then we have Shut Your Mouth, Here Comes the Pain. SmackDown vs. Raw 06, 07, SVR 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
16, 17. 2K15 for the PS4, 2K16 for the PS4, 2K17, 2K18, and 2K19. WWF Betrayal for the Game Boy Color. Also have a WCW game, WCW Nitro, WCW versus the World, WWE All-Stars, Crush Hour, Day of Reckoning, and Day of Reckoning 2. Now then, let us start with the video game collection. Boom, all the way over here. Just like it was back in the day in that 2015 video. So, there we go. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and let's give this a try. I don't know how this is going to work, but yeah, let's give this a try. So first things first, we come all the way back here, and we're going to reach down, and we're going to start with the... Well, first things first, I should say, before I even show anything, the first section I have here are all of my wrestling games, because that was one of the first collection videos that I really put a little bit more effort into, I would say, setting them all out, etc., etc. It wasn't the first one, but it was one of the first anyway, and yeah, who would I be if I didn't start off with wrestling? So here we go. And we're going to reach all the way back here, and this is one of the PS1 wrestling games I have, and this is a copy of WCW Monday Nitro. Excuse this case. I've had this for a very long time. I've never had the actual case for the game. But we open up, there's the manual, and there is the copy of the game. We've got now PS1 Greatest Hits copy of WCW versus the World. And now grab both of these because they go hand in hand. There is WWF SmackDown, the first game of the long-running franchise that's still going today, just now known as WWE 2K for the PS1. And also WWF SmackDown 2 Know Your Role, the follow-up just like 6 months later or so. But now we move on to, of course, the best-selling console of all time, the PS2. And first things first, we've got WWF SmackDown Just Bring It for the PS2. Their first venture on the PS2. No complete in box for me this time. No manual. I don't really care that much about complete in box stuff, to be honest. Like, I'm a collector, but I'm not that much of a collector. But yeah, I mean, just bring it. Not a bad game, of course, but, you know, wasn't the best first step into the 6th generation. But a way better step for them. WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. I mean, and Shut Your Mouth, you know, it, like I just said, Shut Your Mouth. Again, not complete in box. But there we go. Got the game itself, Greatest Hits version. Again, also, I know a lot of collectors don't like the Greatest Hits, Player's Choice, Nintendo Selects, whatever. I know a lot of them don't like that stuff. I have no issues. I don't care. Like, yes, do they look a bit odd when you have them side by side? You have, like, for the PS2 games, Black Label, Black Label, Black Label, Red Label, Black Label, Black Label, Black Label, Red Label, etc. Like, yeah, I mean, it does look a bit odd, but I don't care. I just like having good quality stuff, and this does not actually detract from the quality. But regardless, that is Shut Your Mouth, and like I said, a great next step following Just Bring It. But then, my favorite wrestling game ever, one of the 2 consistently said best wrestling games ever made. Here Comes the Pain. And again, no manual. I do like manuals. I understand that we probably shouldn't ever have done manuals because, like, you know, that's a waste of a bunch of paper. But regardless, they always look so cool and were nice. So, but again, I love this game. My favorite wrestling game ever. I've had these for a long time. Still in their little GameStop CD sleeves. Here's SmackDown vs. Raw. And SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, Cena and Batista on the cover. And, I mean, both these are still good, I think, you know. SVR, I've said it before, it's just, the AI is a bit more dumb. But it's still pretty much in the gameplay department. Here comes the pain. And then 06, I love 06. Again, hot take, I prefer 06 to 07 personally. I like 07 a lot, but generally, almost everything about 06 I do prefer. Even though I actually do like the analog control system introduced in 07. Whereas this has basically the same controls as SVR, Here Goes the Pain, etc. But 06 and SVR, another one people love a lot. And we introduced the Xbox 360 to the mix for the wrestling games. And that is SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. And here is my recently acquired SVR7 for the 360, as I have a 360 now. And that'll make recording stuff a lot easier for me, which is part of the goal I wanted to get it. And I just wanted to have it to begin with. But then I have SVR7 for the PS2. 2 different copies, a greatest hits and a non-greatest hits. But yeah, I mean, SVR7 is, of course, great. We know this. Like, it is regarded very highly in the series. And good game overall. And now again, just like back in one of those older videos, we have my PS2 and PS3 copy of SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. And again, here's the thing. I've always had a soft spot for SVR 08 personally. Like, it is not anywhere close to being the best wrestling game ever. And quite honestly, of just the SVR name, it's honestly probably the weakest SVR. I mean, I know 09 is fairly bare bones, and we'll get to it in a minute. 09's fairly bare bones outside of the Road to WrestleMania mode. But I mean, I was going to say so was this one, but actually no, it's not. 08's not bare bones. Because, like, you have GM mode, you have the Superstar mode, even though those two are combined into one mode, and you can only have one save file, which sucks. But you do have, like, the Hall of Fame mode, which was pretty cool. The Superstar fighting styles were okay on paper, like, but in execution they were flawed, and it just ended up limiting movesets, which wasn't great. But yeah, no, I do think I'd put this a little bit lower than 09 personally. But yeah, still, 08's cool. I have a soft spot for it. PS2, PS3 in the collection. But now we come back to the 360 in the mix as well. And we have the 360 copy of 09 right there. For some reason, someone put it in a PS2 case. I have no idea why when I bought it. I didn't notice at the time. I should have, because it's not even a green case, and Xbox has always used green cases. But regardless, there's that. There's this old GameStop copy of SVR 09 for the PS2. Try and get the name in there better. And then my PS3 copy, which I also learned. I said something in a video. It was Tyson and I going back to react to our 3 videos we did for our favorite WrestleManias. And I said, in the 2017 video, and then corrected myself in the reactions, that the PS3 copy of this game, SVR 09, has the main event match of WrestleMania 24, Edge vs. Undertaker, on disc, and that is true. And I corrected myself because in the 2017 video, I originally said that the PS3 360, because I figured it would be the same. No. Upon looking in this does not have that at all. Not at all. I don't know why. It feels like something you would do. Like, maybe do, like, WWE title match here, World Heavyweight title match here. I don't know. But regardless, they didn't. And this is literally just the game. This gets the bonus content. So, yeah, I don't get it. But regardless, again, I also admittedly don't care for 09, and I don't have quite as much of a soft spot for this game as I do 08 personally. But I mean, I think it's still fine for what it is. It was still an enjoyable time. But again, 08 and 09 I think easily are like bottom two, like the weakest of SVR. Obviously they're not anywhere close to being the weakest like WWE games in general. But for like the main franchise, as I always like to say, both of those are fairly weak. But still enjoyable. And there's PS3, PS2, and 360 right there in my hands. And then we're going to move on to my PS3 copy of Legends of WrestleMania right in there. This game, God, I hate this game. Also, it is complete. I do have the manual for this one. I hate this game so much. The controls are awful. It's not very good. The only positive thing I can say for this game, to be honest, is just the fact that it lets you import your entire SVR9 roster into this game. So if you ended up liking this game a lot, being able to play not only with all the legends in this game, but the entire SVR9 roster too, was cool. But because they did stuff like that, we also lost some of our biggest name legends in SVR9, and some of them in 2010 as well. Now, admittedly, the legends weren't as big a deal yet. That wouldn't start becoming more of a thing until WWE 13 when they did the first proper showcase mode. But I mean, I don't know. We did lose, like, say, for example, Stone Cold and The Rock in this game, not in 09. The Rock returns in 2010. Stone Cold is weirdly DLC in SVR 2010, which we'll get to. But yeah, I don't know. I don't care for this game very much at all. It is fine. It is fine. But probably my least favorite not my least favorite wrestling game, but again, of like the games that surround it, you know, your 08s, your 09s, your 10, 11, etc. The games that surround this game, this is hands down my least favorite of all of those. I just don't care for it. But it's right there in the collection. But now, here we go. The game that started it all for me. My first wrestling game ever. We have SVR 2010 for the PS3. It's currently sitting in my PS3, so it's not in there right now. But there's also the manual, so it is a complete in-box case. But then, as well as that, we have my copy of 2010 on the PS2. It is the first copy of the first game I had. And then we also have it on the 360 as well. So yeah, same kind of thing. And this is where the 360 copies of games end for me right now. Those are the only three that I have. I haven't gone back to buy anymore. I will, because I would like to have the entire series on 360 as well, because that would just be cool. But it's not going to be the most... it's not going to be something I prioritize, to be honest, because I only want to get 360 games that I know that I will need to do, like, Universe Prequel. Because that series is not dead. It will come back. I promise that will come back. I love that series a lot, and I want to do it. But again, with the PS3 issues that I've been having, capture card stuff, that's been a bit of a pain. But I will say, the little bit of recording I've done with my capture card on the 360 has been a bit of a success, so that's good news, but I do need to sit down, get the rest of the unlockables in this game, and then I can pick up where I left off with the prequel, finish that finally, and then carry that over into SVR 11 like I originally wanted to. But yeah, SVR 2010 will always have a special place in my heart, and first wrestling game ever. Still got my very first copy, along with the obviously better versions on the 360 and PS3, which is cool. And then we go to probably my second favorite game, wrestling game ever. Not game, but my second favorite wrestling game ever, and that is WWE All-Stars. I love this game a lot. I know, divisive game. And it's just something special to me. Like, does it lack depth in the, like, gameplay, features, modes department? Yes. But the gameplay itself has a lot of depth. I always describe this game as, like, a fighting game with a wrestling skin, because that's basically what it is. You know, made by some of the same people who would make the TNA Impact game. It's just so much fun. I love it. It's a great arcade wrestling game. It's just so much fun to play, and if they would have made Battlegrounds play like All-Stars, I would have loved it. But instead, Battlegrounds is a game that I regret buying on Steam, even though it wasn't that much money anyway, but I still regret buying it on Steam. And ignore the fact that I just had All-Stars before SVR 11, when chronologically All-Stars would be after. But regardless, we'll move on to SVR 11. There's my original PS2 copy in the old CD case that it was back in the day. Back in like 2015 when I did the original video. There's the better PS3 copy. 11 is not my favorite SVR. It's a good game. It's a special game. The physics obviously the physics engine, the Road to WrestleMania, like the debut of Universe Mode, and probably still like the second best iteration of Universe Mode, quite honestly, with the only one being better being the direct follow-up in 12, I would say. It's a very good game. And I don't know why I would say it really isn't my favorite. Like, I just have more of a soft spot in my heart for probably SVR 06 is what I would say is my favorite, personally. But yeah, 11's still great, obviously. We know this. And yeah, that's 11, PS2, PS3. We know this. In the collection. And we go to, I'll do 2 at a time right now. And that is WWE 12 and, of course, 13. Both copies for the PS3. Starting off with 12, though. The only 2 games under the WWE banner, specifically. And that's the only part of the name. And 12... So 12 is another one, funny enough, I have a soft spot in my heart for, you know. It's just, I like 12 a lot. I've never cared for the way they changed. I've never really cared too much for, like, the, you know, predator technology and stuff like that. Not really. Like, I don't like how in 12 you can't just, like, strike your opponent unless you've done some damage first, and then, like, say, you could do, like, a running clothesline and knock them down. I never cared for that, even though I guess that's probably more realistic, but I don't know. It just always felt weird when playing 12 specifically. And, yeah, and for that, in this game, it probably made a lot of people rely on running grapples even more, which, shame on you. Shame on you, Randall. It wasn't your fault, but shame on you. Yeah, I don't know. But I like the game a lot, you know. 12 is cool. 12 is cool. I do really like the Road to WrestleMania. I know a lot of people don't like it, especially looking back on it now. And it does have its issues, but, like, the villain story, I do like. I like the idea of the United Kingdom being a faction, and with 4 guys, a lot of people saw potential in and wanted to see pushed to the moon at the time. Sheamus, Barrett, McIntyre, and Regal. Well, okay, maybe less so Regal because he was already, like, a long-time veteran by that point. But, I mean, yeah, Regal's great. Regal's fantastic. But, yes, 4 great wrestlers, 4 great people in the ring. And it was cool to see them doing that. And then the image of Sheamus being draped in gold. You know, like, the meme shot everyone says Triple H should be known for, basically. You know, and you know the meme. The meme of Hunter being with all the belts, including the Divas title and shit. You know the meme. You know the meme. But yeah, no. The Outsider story, I don't care for. Like, it's fine, but, like, I don't think we necessarily needed another, like, Triple H is he's the man, he's one of the greatest ever, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think we needed another one of those to be like, oh, hey, Triple H is fucking great. Here he is as WWE Champion to start the story. And then here he is, destroying all of these younger guys that we see potential in, and Jack Swagger. And then, oh hey, look, they all the guys he beat previously team up to beat him so the Miz can become King of Kings, King of the Ring, you know? Like, it's a fine story. I don't dislike it, but I would say it's personally the weakest, even though the hero story with the custom character Jacob Cass has more issues and is more flawed. I would still say there's more to enjoy in the hero story than the outsider story, personally. And it's still genuinely probably my favorite Road to WrestleMania. Again, I know, hot take at this point, but I love it. I love it. Again, 12 has like the best universe mode. WrestleMania, I think, is still solid for what it is. And yeah, even though really outside of both of those and story designer, there's not any other like depth to the game. But that's 12, and then we have 13 now. 13, I've never actually really been that much of a fan of. Like, I used to have a copy of it for the Wii that my parents pre-ordered for me back when it came out in 2012. So I had that, had Mike Tyson in the game, and I don't know, I've never really cared for 13 that much. Like, 13 is good, but like, a lot of people, especially like in more recent years, praising the hell out of 13, and I know a lot of it is strictly because of nostalgia with it being more than 10 years old now, but like, I just don't get it. Like, it was never that good, to be honest. Like, this is when they really started ruining universe mode, because like, they opened it up entirely to make it more of a sandbox, which was cool. You could fully edit the calendar however you wanted. You could do 5 shows, a pay-per-view every week, etc. You could do whatever you wanted there, and that was cool. But, like, they made it way more difficult to get potential cutscenes. They practically lied about the branching paths in universe mode. Like, they're there, but you have to do very specific things to get the branching storylines, some of which can only be done with the Attitude Era superstars, which some people probably didn't really want to use, because I know a lot of people genuinely wanted to use, like, the current talent in the game. Also, having half the roster being Attitude Era, like, it was a cool selling point for this game specifically, but I mean, that does kind of harm the game a little bit, I think, because, like, I love Legends, I love playing with them in the game and figuring out cool, unique ways to get use out of them, especially if I'm doing, like, a universe mode, which I haven't done in a while, but if I am, yeah, I like doing that, and that's cool. But, like, in my own time, if I wasn't making content on it, I wouldn't use the Attitude Era superstars in this game, personally. I just wouldn't. And again, that's half the roster. You know, again, there's no proper story mode outside of Attitude Era mode, which, again, is cool, but, like, it also started the trend of having Showcase mode in almost every game, and now Showcase mode is genuinely a fairly hated mode, to be fair, and either it's like most people I know and I've talked to about the games, it's either a hated mode for them or it's just like a whatever, like indifference towards the mode. But we keep getting the mode year in year out because only because the devs apparently just really like making that mode specifically. But like, if your player base doesn't really give a shit, why is it still in there, you know? Like, I get you like making it, and we want you to keep doing things that you like, but you should like the process of making the entire game. And at this point, again, a lot of the players just don't care about Showcase mode, and furthermore, it also just ends up taking away potential resources that you could be using for other parts of the game to make them better. You know? But, like, that's my opinion on it. Again, like I said, I never really cared for 13 that much. It's fine. I still got a lot of enjoyment out of it. I have played Attitude Era mode a lot. So I still liked it in this game, and I liked it in 14. And I've got enjoyment out of every one except for some of the most recent. But I have other issues there, you know. But yeah, that's that. That's 12 and 13. I've already been talking about them a lot. Again, I like them, but I like this one more than this one, to be honest. Which, again, unpopular opinion, but, I think this one is just not as good. They're both still solid, though, and in a fun time. But this, obviously, is when they really focused on kind of nostalgia baiting the player base, the community. This is when the games became so heavily based around nostalgia, which is fine to a degree, but I don't think one of your major selling points of a game should be that nostalgia. Unless you're doing something like a remaster, a remake, something like that, But this is like a brand new game that we got at the time. Again, as well, like the fact that this has the one count glitch, it was never fixed, never patched, and it's just still there in the game to this day. And the only way around that is to put it on the quick match setting, which then sometimes you can get a good competitive match out of that, but a lot of the times quick match setting became a squash match, which you don't always want. Like, it has its issues that they didn't really ever address for the most part. They didn't fix. And they're still in the game to this day. Plus, the AI is god-awful in this game. Like, it's like the worst AI we've ever had. It's so, so bad in this game. But yeah, it's still, that's 12 and 13 in the collection. But, I mean, then we move on to WWE 2K14. Yes, I still have the alternate cover turned. Like, obviously, as we know, of course, my parents bought it on launch for me. But, like, as we know, I'll take the discount real quick. The Rock was the original, but I preferred the Daniel Bryan one, personally. And what can I say? Basically, every issue that I had with 13 was fixed in this game. I love this game a lot. I put so much time into it. And that's part of why I wish, like, Sony kept times for all of your played PS3 games and stuff. Because, I want to know how much time I actually put into this game. Because 2K19, I ended up putting well over 500 hours into that. So, yeah, I would love to know what it is for 14, because it's probably more than that, to be honest. But yeah, I put a lot of time to it. I love this game a lot. Again, I think 30 Years of WrestleMania is better than Attitude Era mode. Universe mode, I feel like it's a little bit of an improvement, but even then, it still takes a step back as well and makes it worse than 13. Again, 13's really where it made Universe mode suck a lot. And, like, the rivalry system is, again, cool on paper, but it just ended up working in this game as you just face your opponent every single week, basically, and that, for the most part, hasn't changed with that system. The rivalry system did allow you to get more cutscenes, though, which were, again, harder to get in 13. But again, it was still basically you have to let the AI book it. You can't really book it yourself, which kind of goes against it being like a sandbox mode in the first place. So, I don't know, but I still love this game a lot. I got the Platinum Trophy for it before the server shut down, and yeah. Great game, I think. Absolutely great game. Definitely, like, the peak of the, basically, THQ era, Like, I know 2K came in, published it, finished it up, but it was still mostly done. And I know there's going to be people who might see this and start arguing in the comments, but like, well, no, it's a 2K game, it's a 2K game. No, guys, no, it's not. It's basically the exact same thing as 12 and 13. It basically is. Just improved in a lot of ways. It's still the direction THQ was taking it. THQ had the game mostly finished. 2K did come in on the back end and finish some stuff up with some of those same devs that they had brought in that were working on this game. But for the most part, besides just touching some things up, finishing up some things, and publishing it, it's basically a THQ game. And I will not hear otherwise. But yeah, no, of like the basically THQ era, putting an end to that, 14 is definitely, I'd say, like one of the best games there. And I don't think it's just nostalgia either. I think it's still a good game that holds up pretty well. Obviously, like, the AI is still like the, like THQ era AI that's been that way since with 12 and 13. It's still like a mostly arcadey style game. And if you prefer like the realism of like 15 to 19, 20, etc., yeah, you're not going to get that here. But again, it's still a solid game and I like it a lot. So, 14. But now, we've got my PS3 and PS4 copies of 2K15. PS3 and PS4 copy of 15. And, I don't dislike this game. I've never disliked this game. I think it's fine. Obviously, are there some bugs in here? Yes, obviously. To be fair, all of them have bugs from being a yearly release. Like, that's never gone away, and that'll never go away. The only way to fix that is to increase development time. And to get increased development time, increased time for QA, and to make sure that, oh, hey, it's not going to be a broken game. AKA, just give the game to New Legacy. Give it to New Legacy, and, they'll find all the bugs for you. They always do. But no, being serious, I've never hated the game. I don't dislike the move to a realistic simulation style. I feel it doesn't quite work here, but it was a good first step to move in that direction, even if the game, again, kind of like with 09, is very bare bones. But it has probably what I think is the best proper, I guess, showcase mode, not including Attitude Era and 30 Years of WrestleMania. The first one labeled Showcase. I think this is probably the best year for that. I really do enjoy the CM Punk and John Cena, the Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I like the One More Match and the Hall of Pain, and I like both of those, and I haven't actually watched or played The Path of Warrior. But that one is kind of where I start having issue with the showcase modes, because I really don't like the showcase modes that are centered around one person in their career. I really don't, and I've never liked those. Even with 16 with Steve Austin's, it's okay, it's cool to see what they did, and you can tell a lot of time and effort went into making it, but I never cared for it. That's not what I wanted out of showcase mode if we had to have it. I thought the idea of focusing on an actual rivalry that, if you go back and watch some of these segments and matches, they can still hold up today. I thought that was cool, and having something having something like the Best Friends Bitter Enemies in this game, which at that point would have been 10 years since that had ended initially. Yeah, that was cool, because at that point there's a lot of newer wrestling fans, people who may not have seen that, people who may not have played that before in a game or whatever, people who weren't familiar with the earlier games or whatever. So getting that was cool, and it was also a nice little reminder for people who were familiar with it. Personally for me, that was just before I started watching. I didn't start watching until 2006. So it was cool to see that, even though I had gone back and watched some of that as well. Again, I thought a lot of that was cool. I think that's what I personally wanted out of showcase mode. And I didn't dislike the move to the realistic style. But I do think this version right here, the PS3 360 version of 2K15, I feel like people should stop sleeping on it. Because yes, in the gameplay department, it basically is still just 2K14 in that kind of more THQ era game. But I mean, there's some cool stuff in here, And there's some cool stuff in here. It still has the showcase mode. It has Who Got NXT. It has It has the version of Defeat the Streak, but with John Cena instead of Undertaker, which, again, isn't quite as good, but it's still fine for what it is. It's still a fun time. You still have, like, the same roster, the same DLCs are available in this game as they were on this game. Sadly, they did still remove... Like, you still had some of the cool match types in the last gen games, and that would keep going all the way until the last PS3 360 game, 2K17. So you still had, like, backstage brawls, I Quit, special guest referee, etc. But, you know, like, those never went away, but they did take away, you know, like, story designer, the ability to do custom soundtracks, which, admittedly, they would actually bring back for 16 and 17 on PS3 and 360. A weird thing that most people probably don't know, but yeah, they would actually bring those back for whatever reason. So, again, a very weird thing. I don't understand why, but yeah. Honestly, yeah, the previous gen, or the 2 generations ago version of the game, you know, I don't dislike. I think, again, if you liked the previous style of gameplay, this holds up pretty well. Because it's based pretty much on, like, the same kind of code, like, legacy code that the games have been on for a long time. There's still some of those, like, same glitches and stuff like that that had never been taken out of the games. But, you know, it is what it is, right? But that, you know, I'm rambling at that point. 15 for both of those in the collection. And then same kind of thing here. We have 16 for the PS3 and the PS4. So yeah. And 16, I kind of already talked about it a little bit. I think 16 is fine. I vibed with the pinwheel pin game. I liked the pinwheel submission system a lot, but only in this game. I think they completely ruined it in every other game. And I've ranted about this before. I won't get into it here, but I know a lot of people, especially some of the bigger creators at the time, were, like, basically whining about the way the pinwheel submission system worked in this game. And, you know, I like a lot of those creators. I still watch a lot of those creators, don't be wrong. Like, respect to all of them for what they do and the content they make. But, yeah, no. A lot of them whining about the way the submission system worked in this game, I thought was so goddamn annoying, because, like, it's super easy to do the submission system in the PS4 version of this game. Like, it's so easy. And you could argue it's so easy to the point, like, they should have fixed it. Because literally all you had to do, just one, ignore the boost. Like, the fact that they put the boost in there, which took away your stamina, was dumb. Very stupid. But if you ignored the boost, number one, and two, just push your analog stick up, your right analog stick that is, push it up, and then bounce left and right, and just bouncing back and forth, and eventually, 9 times out of 10, you'd win just doing that. It was a very easy system to use. I love that submission system, personally. Even if, again, the pinwheel submission system got ruined in every other game. But outside of that, I think the gameplay was fine for what it is. But I don't care for it that much, and I think the rest of the games do something better. Like I already said, I don't really care for the career-focused showcase modes, so I didn't like the Austin Showcase that much, even though a lot of people say it's the best one. I disagree entirely. But I do want to say, this version, the PS3 version of the game, again, I have a massive soft spot in my heart for this game specifically, this version of the game. I talked about that in my top 6 WWE games video as well. But I have a soft spot in the heart for this game, because if it wasn't for this version of the game specifically, I don't know, honestly, if I would even have kept doing YouTube. You know? I think I owe so much to this version of the game, the original universe mode that I started in this game. I owe so much to that. And because that gave me something to be passionate about, something that like, it gave me something to be passionate about with creating. Because, like, I've always liked creating, you know? Like, I like being a creator. But, I don't know. I was just kind of, like, stuck in limbo, not knowing really what to do. And this gave me something that I could be passionate about and something that I loved doing. At a time where I needed that, too, for various different reasons. That I won't get into now. I've kind of hinted and implied that in other videos, but yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, I have a big soft spot in my heart for this game. Love this version of the game a lot. But I think 16 is fine, and I do like it. But it is in the collection. And then we move on to 2K17. Here we go. The last version of the game for the PS3. There's a PS4 version as well. And genuinely, if I'm being honest, I like 17 a lot, actually. I don't think 17 is quite as good as, like, say, a 19, for example, and even 19 is still not anywhere close to being one of the best games in the series. But I like this game a lot, you know. This game is where I really kind of, like, found my biggest inspiration for universe modes. It's where I continued the original universe mode into this game, try to really increase the quality a lot with it as well, not just quality with the video stuff, obviously, but as well as that, trying to improve audio quality, trying to get better commentary and editing. And yeah, like, I have a huge soft spot in my heart for this game as well. Both versions. This one more than this one. But again, PS3, like I said, basically the same kind of gameplay, just a little bit more updated and refined. There was an issue with this game, kind of harkening back to 13 with the one-count glitch. But instead, normal moves did a lot of damage, but for some reason, if you did, like, a finisher, that almost seemed to, like, give them health back, is kind of how it felt, the AI that is. So it made it way easier to kick out for both the AI and the player. It made it easier to kick out once you got hit with finisher. But then, like I said, you could just lose to any random normal move, and that was very weird. And it took them a long time, but they did eventually patch it and fix that. And this also, weirdly, like, they sound like DLC and everything like that, of course, we know that. Unlocking stuff. They didn't ever implement, like, a VC system, like a virtual currency system, for the previous gen versions. So in this game specifically, they had you do a bunch of, like, kind of like grindy, menial tasks to unlock all the superstars in this game. Like, for example, either Edge or Christian, you had to, like, play, I think, a certain amount of, like, TLC matches or something like that to get one of them to unlock. Yeah, like, you had to do a bunch of stuff like that. Like, a specific amount of matches played in, like, a specific stipulation, environment, whatever, to unlock the superstars. And it was a cool idea, but it was super grindy. And, I think I do probably prefer the just being able to, like, unlock VC doing basically anything in the game, and then you can go into the unlockable menu and then purchase the people. You know, I think I probably prefer that, even though, like, this is... I don't dislike the way they did it in the PS3 360 version. But, like I said, it was very grindy, and, like, me at the time, I loved the hell out of it and did almost all of the unlockables before that Christmas, where I got a little bit of money for that Christmas, and I ended up getting the DLC with the season pass and the accelerator and everything. So, yeah. Don't ask me why I ended up not just saving that to get the DLC for this game, which I got not too long after. Don't ask. Because I still don't know why I did that. But I did, and you know what? I don't know if I regret it or not. But regardless, yeah, I do like this game. It still holds a special spot in my heart, like with 16. And generally, yeah, I think gameplay-wise, it was a good version of the game for, like, the simulation style, you know? I like it. Then we move on to 18 with the Rollinator on the cover, and I don't really know what to say for 18. This is where, like, my interest really started, like, going down dramatically. Like, I lost so much interest with this game. I didn't vibe with this game very much. I still put a lot of time into it, because, like, I always put time into the wrestling games, except for with 22 and 23. Again, I've talked about my issues with those. Different video, I won't dwell on that. But yeah, like, I didn't really vibe with it too much. I felt like the gameplay was way too slow. It looked nice. But yeah, I didn't vibe with the gameplay being so slow. I didn't vibe with, like, the main menu, the way they did it, personally. I thought specific songs in the jukebox for this game as well played way too much. Like, I already didn't like Down with the Sickness, but now I literally never want to hear that goddamn song ever again. Yeah. Because for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the same for everyone else, but Down with the Sickness played way too fucking much. Edgy song is edgy, and I'll never go out of my way to listen to it. But if it came on in the game, whatever. Until it played all the fucking time. But yeah, I don't know. I never really cared for this game that much. I think it's kind of pretty weak. But overall, that's in the collection. And we move on to a game I do hold a lot of love for, 2K19. And what can I say? Like, I love this game a lot. And to be honest, you see, like, you know, the physical deluxe edition of it, I genuinely don't know why I even pre-ordered the deluxe edition. Because, like, I pre-ordered this myself with money that I had saved up at the time. Like, and I don't know why I did that. Because I was not excited for this game. Like, I wasn't excited in any way for this game up until, you know, like, a week before launch when they gave us, like, that one wacky as hell gameplay trailer. It's like, oh, okay. I see you. And, like, that trailer was cool. And, yeah. And then the game ended up being solid. But, like, I pre-ordered it, got it the 4 days early, and Tyson and I started making a bunch of content on it. We did first impressions. We started a universe mode again, which sadly that universe mode is dead, even though we wanted to continue it. It's not coming back. Let's be honest. It's not. But yeah, like, no. We did a lot of cool stuff. We made a lot of content together. We played this game so much. And yeah. It was very solid. I thought my career was good and was pretty well written, you know, for being, like, a return of, like, a proper linear story mode in the games. I liked that direction. It's very hit or miss, and it really depends on who's writing it and how well written it is. But in this game, I thought it was pretty well written. I enjoyed that. I did like the Data Brine Showcase. It was one of the few career-centered showcase modes that I did like, personally, even though I still had my issues with it. And again, I just thought the gameplay itself was just so much fun. Like, they took what I hated about 18 and just turned the speed up just enough to still keep it very sim style. But again, they sped it up just enough to make it so much fun. I feel like just gameplay-wise itself, there's so much replayability here. And then obviously, if you got it on PC, the mod scene kept the game alive and the community alive for so much as well. And I disagree entirely with people saying that the only reason this game was praised because of how shitty 20 was, and then we didn't get a game the following year after that. I disagree. I think genuinely this game is a very good wrestling game. You know? And it deserves its spot on kind of like, you know, it deserves to be up there with games that are generally considered to be some of the best wrestling games ever. Like, I think it deserves to be up there with a Here Comes the Pain, a No Mercy, you know, etc. But there we go. And then we move into what's probably the worst game in this, in the WWE Games series, you know, franchise. Probably the worst game, 2K20, as we know, the thing is, right, 2K20 is weird, because it was a completely broken, buggy, glitchy mess at launch. They really didn't fix it. They did a lot of patches, and they fixed some things, but there's still so much that's wrong with it. It's so incredibly buggy. There's still things you still can't do, and hell, there's some things that were done in this game that even in 22 and 23 still kind of persist. Like, I know Universe Mode, even in 23 to this day, still has issues that were kind of first issues here. You know? Like, there are some people who are still having issues with Universe Mode just wanting to crash. So, yeah, some of those issues still persist, even now. And kind of, like I said, all started here. It was Visual Concepts' first attempt at making their own game without the help of Ukes. And obviously, people are loving 22 and 23 way more than Fight Forever, which was developed by Ukes. And again, I have my own issues with that as well. Like, quite honestly, I don't think there is a good wrestling game on the market right now. But, you know, whatever, that's a different conversation again. I don't know, I don't hate this game. It's a bad game. But I think it does still do some things okay, you know? Like, I think there are some things that are okay. I think there's things that have potential here. It's just horribly executed. But, you know, like I said, it is a bad game. And it's not just a bad wrestling game, it's a bad game. But whatever, you know, it's interesting, I think, and 20's there, obviously. But now we're going to move into, which I guess, before I show you this, I will say, that is the end for the main franchise and everything, and we're going to move into some GameCube games, and I'll also still show you my PS2 copy of TNA Impact, which I still have. But yeah, so there's that. But here we go. That is Crush Hour for the GameCube. I used to have a copy of Crush Hour for the PS2. I literally don't know what happened to it. As well as that, it's complete in box. Yeah. Got the manual there. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. But Crush Hour, funny enough, I like Crush Hour a lot. I really do, actually. I know why people have issues with it, but, like, I don't know. I think there's something that's kind of charming about Crush Hour. Like, don't get me wrong, it's WWE Twisted Metal, and I don't actually like Twisted Metal, but I don't know. I feel like there's just something that grabbed me with this, and it probably was the fact that it's wrestling. But yeah, no, I think it's a fun game. Not great. Not at all, but I think it's fun. But then we move into WrestleMania 19 for the GameCube. You may be wondering, why do I have 2 copies of WrestleMania 19? To that, I tell you, I don't know. This was at a time, obviously, this was at a time where I bought both of these myself. No one bought these for me, and my issue is, I think I was looking at one of these, and I just wasn't paying attention, saw the WrestleMania logo, thought it was WrestleMania 18, and went to buy it, and then I started looking at it, so like, wait, no, that's not WrestleMania 18. So now I have 2 copies of WrestleMania 19, which, again, the better game, but, like, I don't know. I haven't played too much of it, you know, so I can't say too much, but I know people actually do really like this game a lot, so, you know. WrestleMania 19. We'll do these 2 together because they go together, and that is Day of Reckoning and Day of Reckoning 2. Like I said, they go together. I haven't really played much of Day of Reckoning 2, but I played quite a bit of Day of Reckoning, and yeah. Day of Reckoning is great, and I do like that both of these have been getting more praise recently, and like in recent years, because they so deserve it. They are very good, and it was the cool thing of, like, WrestleMania 18 wasn't great, Like, WrestleMania 18 was kind of bad. WrestleMania 19 wasn't great, but still enjoyable. But then we got 2 genuinely good wrestling games with Day of Reckoning. We had the SmackDown series on the PS2. Sadly, the 360 and the Xbox side of things, their exclusive wrestling games didn't really do that much. Like, Raw 1 and 2 aren't very great. Like, I know Raw 2 has its fan base. I know. I get it. I have not played that, but I feel like there is a reason people don't really want to talk about them or anything. I thought of the people who are diehards for it. And if you love it. Keep loving it. Ignore anything I might say. Keep loving it. That's all on you. But yeah, no. I do feel like there's people don't really want to talk about Raw 1 and 2. But yeah, no. Day of Reckoning, genuinely very good. I have both. Not much else I want to say. Day of Reckoning's great. And then, like I said, here is that old PS2 copy of TNA Impact. Had this one for a long time. Was featured in, like, the videos back in, like, 2015. Like I said before. And I wish I still had my PS3 copy. Or a copy for the 360 now. I don't, sadly. I wish I did. I don't even know why I got rid of it, but I did. I do regret that. And yeah, there is TNA Impact PS2. So next up, I don't have anything back here, but next up, I'm going to move into all the rest of my PS1 games because I have them all in a stack. So, first, they're not in alphabetical order or anything, but first, here is Tomb Raider 3. Here is the original PlayStation Space Invaders. Here's a game called Pro Pinball. Here's one that I've had for a long time. Namco Museum Volume 1. And then here is Kiss Pinball. Not actually my game. My dad bought that. And, well, when he and my mom split, it was still with me. So, there we go. And that is all PS1 games. So now I guess here's some random old PC games that I don't know why I have, but here they are. Here is a gambling slots game. Here is Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. Nice pun there, guys. And then NASCAR Racing 2. Yeah, I literally don't even know where these games came from, to be honest. I don't know why I have them. But, they are right there. So, yeah. They're there. So, next up on the list, we've got all the PS2 games, not including the PS2 games in the wrestling collection, because we already went through those, as you know. So, first things first, I'm going to try and be a little bit quick with some of these, because, well, we have Automodelista by Capcom, a racing game by Capcom. I've had this for a long time. I've literally never played it. Never thought about playing it. It is complete, though. There's a manual. And as you imagine, it's in pretty good condition because I've never played it. But there's that. And we have Cars, the video game. My dad bought this for me when I was a kid because I liked the first movie quite a bit. I don't really remember much about any other Cars movie besides the first. And I actually wanted to play this because apparently this is kind of like an open world Cars game, kind of. And like, every time I've tried to play it, actually, the disc has like never worked. So yeah, but Cars. Now, this next one, I have a very soft spot in my heart for because this is the game Corvette. And it's just a racing game, but my sisters and I, for whatever reason, loved this game a lot. We played it a lot growing up. And yeah, we always had a lot of fun, even if I lost like every race. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, even though I don't like racing games, especially realistic racing games now. Like, the only one that I think is enjoyable in any way is Mario Kart, personally. But yeah, no. I wouldn't play it now, but I don't remember why, but, like, I saw, like, the actual case, because all we had was just, like, Corvette as, like, disc only. But I saw this, and not only is it complete with the manual, just like that, boom, 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 but someone even left in their little unlock all code, which I thought was really cool, you know? That was really cool. So yeah, that was pretty cool to find that Corvette. Now, I don't know why I still have these, because I have no way of playing them, really. But here are a whole host of Dance Dance Revolution, DDR. There is DDR Max and DDR Max 2. There is DDR Extreme, and then 2 copies, I don't know why, of DDR Supernova. And, yeah, you know, like I said, I don't really know why I still have these. Like, I have no way of playing them. I don't have a dance mat anymore. I wish I did. I love DDR a lot, and I love rhythm games even more now. And knowing that, like, this game has, like, Dance Dance, like, has Fall Out Boy in there, like, oh, I think that would be a lot of fun. But, regardless, that's a bunch of DDR that, I liked at the time, but didn't really have an appreciation for rhythm games yet. So, with no dance mat now, can't enjoy them. Even though I guess technically, I think they have controller, like regular, like DualShock support, to be honest. I know a lot of rhythm games back in this era did, so I guess I could try, but who knows. We go into some of the best, then we move into some of the best-selling PS2 games ever. First, we've got Grand Theft Auto 3. And I don't even remember, like, it is complete. And I don't, well, I guess technically it's not complete, because I know Rockstar for a long time has included maps. I don't know if they did it for the, like, I don't know if they did it for the 3D era, is what they called it. But there is GTA 3, and then we have, in this little tiny slim case, there is Vice City, right in there. And then we have the best-selling PS2 game of all time, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And yeah, admittedly, the only GTA I've played a lot of and actually finished is GTA 5. But when I saw these, I think I got them all at Goodwill, to be honest. But when I saw them there, I was like, yes, I have to get them. It's the 3D trilogy. It's what some people say are still some of the best GTA games. And yeah. And I do have the, again, 3D trilogy on the PS4 as well. Like, I have the originals, not the definitive edition. So, yeah. But now, here is some games that I'm truly kind of obsessed with now, that I have found my appreciation for rhythm games. Here is what started it all, Guitar Hero. And, like, genuinely, I think, even though you can't legitimately play this game very easily now, because, again, it's only PS2, no calibration settings, I think it's still cool, and you just have to play, like, a little bit early. But, you know, it's fine. I actually went through and got to the final tier recently, at the end of last year, recording this early 2024. And yeah, did that. I thought it was pretty cool, and I I enjoyed it. I'm not good enough to beat every song in the final tier, but, I mean, outside of Cowboys from Hell, which is probably the worst song I've ever performed on, I can barely get into that song, and I think it's mainly because of having to play early and do that kind of, like, riff that bounces up and down the frets. I can barely get into that song, but, I mean, even, like, Bark at the Moon, I can still get most of the way through before I fail out. So, yeah, but Guitar Hero, the first one, is great. I have two complete in-box copies of Guitar Hero 2. You know, which is hilarious to me. I don't even know why, but I do. Which, again, everyone's talked about it before. It's the first game, but improved in every way. It's got calibration settings. It's got hyperspeed. It's the first game, but improved in every way. And then there's the Encore Rocks the 80s. There is the best-selling one, GH3, Legends of Rock. And then I also have Band Hero as well. Which I genuinely, again, I know, kind of hot take, I do like Band Hero a lot. But yeah. And that is all the Guitar Hero stuff. I do want to talk about them more, by the way, but I'm already like an hour and a half into this recording, so I'm going to try to keep it a bit quick for some of them. Games I've talked about and want to talk about more. Jak 3, Jak X. Don't ask why I don't have Jak 1 and 2. I showed them off in the very first video, but like I had rented those from my library at the time, so... But no, Jak X and Jak 3, I like these a lot. I have the HD ports of them on the PS4, so easy to record. And yeah, I like them a lot, and I do want to make more content on them. I want to talk about them more, and eventually, people who've been around for a very long time with this channel know that I have a video where I ranked the 4 Sly games and then the trilogies for Ratchet and Jak. It was a top 10 list, and eventually I will do the video remake. I will play through all of these again, get all of my thoughts written down in a cool, concise way, figure out exactly how I feel and what I want to say, and I will do that eventually, but it's not something I'm ready for yet. But yeah, no, I love Jak and Daxter a lot, and that's both 3 and Jak X. Now here are games that I don't like now, I don't care for, but I still have them. Because, well, I mean, they're not worth anything. So, first, here is Madden 2002. Here is Madden 2003. Here is Madden 2005, which I do have a soft spot in my heart for still. Here's Madden 2006. And here is Madden 2009. Then we have the game Motocross... I almost dropped it. Motocross Mania 3. And then we have the games Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and Mortal Kombat Deception, which has two different discs, so both of those there with Deadly Alliance. And then here we go. Here is NASCAR Thunder 2003, NBA Street, keeping up with the sports games, we've got NCAA 2003, 2004, 2006, and 2009. And to round it out, here are the games made by 989 Sports. We have NFL Game Days 2002, 2003, and NCAA Game Breaker 04. Here is Pinball Hall of Fame, the Gottlieb Collection, and Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. This one is just a fun pinball game, and this one I love so much. It's a game that I want to get like the backwards compatibility treatment. It's one that I want to get some sort of remaster or remake or something. I love this game so much. I love it. Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. Like Motocross Mania 3, here's an arcadey racing game, Powerdrome. Here are Ratchet & Clank, the original, and Up Your Arsenal. Again, don't ask why I no longer have Going Commando, PS2. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. But yeah, there's those. Again, same thing with Jack. I want to talk about them more. I want to do more videos on them, etc. But now's not the time. And I'm going to skip over the next thing and go back to it. But first, same situation. Sly 1, Sly 2, both on the PS2. Love them a lot. Again, like I said, same thing with Ratchet and Jack. I will talk about them more, but not now. And now going back, we have two copies of Rock Band 1 for the PS2. And then we also have the Rock Band Track Pack Classic Rock and the Track Pack Volume 2. And yeah, again, love rhythm games now. I really found my appreciation and respect for them. I play them a lot, and I definitely became more Rock Band the Guitar Hero. And yeah, I love all these a lot. Here is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, #1. I like this game a lot. Again, I like this game a lot. It's Splinter Cell. I really like stealth games, and yeah. And then we have Sprint Cars Road to Knoxville. This one holds a pretty special place in my heart, actually, because this is one of the things where I do have like a good memory of playing games with my dad. Because for some reason, he liked this game a lot. So yeah. And then here's also the, in a blank case, but Sprint Cars 2 Showdown at Eldora. I really haven't played this game very much. #2. But first game is cool. Then we have Lego Star Wars, the game that kind of started it all. A lot of fun, of course. Then we have two random, a little more realistic racing games, and that is Super Pickups and Super Trucks Racing. I don't really like either of these. And then we have Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003, and then Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, which is cool. And that was the PS2. And we've been restocked with PS3. Here we go, my favorite console. Probably of all time, really. I love the PS3. It was so special to me. But here we go. Kick off with the first Assassin's Creed. I actually like Assassin's Creed 1 a lot. I've always been very interested in the series, and yeah, I like where it started. And then we have Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. And yeah, both are very good. Rocksteady proved that they really knew what they were doing, and that shows. I still prefer Arkham Asylum personally. The open world aspect doesn't kind of thrill me like what they did with Arkham Asylum. But yeah, no, both are very good. Both very good games. Then we have Dark Souls 2. What a lot of people say is the worst one. And I wouldn't know. I'm not really into Souls. I just saw this and picked it up. Dark Souls 2. Then we have Grand Theft Auto 5. And then we have Gran Turismo 5. It came with my PS3. That's why it's in this little slip. I actually don't really like this game. I just don't like Gran Turismo personally. And now the only Guitar Hero games I have for the PS3, that is GH5 and Band Hero. And again, I talked about the PS2. I like Band Hero a lot, actually. And GH5 I think is solid as well. I like both of these a lot. But it's more Guitar Hero. And now we have Infamous 2. Again, this one came over my PS3. And I love both these a lot. Again, I love Infamous. Sucker Punch is probably my favorite developer ever. And yeah, I love these games a lot. And I would, again, kind of like with Sly, Jack, Ratchet, etc., I would love to make content on these. Then we move into the Jak and Daxter HD Collection. I talked about with Jak 3 and Jak X. Again, I love these games, love them a lot. I want to make more stuff and talk about them more, and that's in the collection. As well as that, we have Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Final Mix. And yeah, I like Kingdom Hearts a lot, but I've never actually finished a game, so I do eventually want to jump into this and finish it. I don't know if it'll be the PS3 version or like the PS4/PS5 version, or on another platform, I don't know. Eventually I will, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Now we're back into sports game land, which I don't really like at all, but here is Madden 2007, Madden 11, Madden 13, and Madden 25. And then we're into Minecraft Story Mode, which I only actually bought this because I was scrolling through the trophy website PSN profiles, and I saw, and it reminded me that I had bought episode 1 specifically. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they did that at the time, because there was no, it did not just say episode 1. I do remember that. But whatever, that's besides the point. They did that. It only gave me episode 1. So, and I didn't get the other episodes before they pulled it off the store digitally, so I got this specifically for trophies, actually. No, that's actually not entirely true. I actually did like the idea of Minecraft Story Mode a lot. And yeah, but I got that to not only finish up the trophy list, but also just play it, because I wanted to play it. And then here's also Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Here's Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, along with Ultimate Storm Generations. I like Naruto Ultimate Ninja a lot. I don't love the Storm games personally. I know a lot of people do, but I have the biggest spot in my heart for the like kind of OGs, the 4 on PS2. I know there's a 5th one as well that's only EU and Japan. But obviously I've never had that in my possession. I've never played it or anything like that. But I do like the first 4 a lot. And I do have those, but they're not actually in my collection. They're in my sister's collection. So, but I have these, and I might eventually try these, because I know like they've all been like remastered and put on like current hardware. So maybe, I don't know, I might give them another chance, but that's both of those. More sports games I don't care about. NCAA 08, 09, 10, and 11. A game I do love a lot. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I like this game a lot. I really do. I know everyone's like, oh, look, PlayStation Smash Bros. And I get it. Like, visually, it looks that way, especially when you have a lot of, like, 3D, like, main characters, you know, in this, like, 2.5D fighting game environment. I get it. It looks like it plays like Smash Bros., but, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's not just PlayStation Smash Bros., and there's a lot of stuff that's very interesting with the development of the game, and I would like to see them get, like, another crack at it. They're never going to. But I love this game a lot. And now, again, talk about these again. Here is the Ratchet & Clank HD Collection, as we know. There is Tools of Destruction. There is A Crack in Time. And then here are 2 copies of All for One. So, obviously, like, we know these right here. The HD Collection, Tools of Destruction, and, like, Crack in Time. We know these are all really good. We know that. Genuinely, I do like All for One quite a bit. I think it was a cool little, like, 4-player experience, you know? It's not as strong as the rest of them, obviously, but it was never gonna be, and that's not kind of like the intention there. I still think it's a lot of fun, especially if you do have people to play with. Again, I've talked about these, want to do more videos on them and talk about them more, but here is Rock Band 1, Track Pack Volume 2. I specifically went to get this so I could use the code, which somehow I love it that it wasn't used already. So I redeemed the code for this game to end up getting all of these songs in Rock Band 4, which meant that I got the delisted Snow Heo, which I can't play because I'm not good enough to play it. But as well as that, there's Rock Band 2. There's Lego Rock Band. Here's the Green Day Rock Band Plus version of the game. And Rock Band 3. Again, love Rock Band so much. Love rhythm games now. And yeah, I love these. Here's the Sly Collection and Thieves in Time. I like these a lot. Obviously, this one has its issues, but I like them a lot, and I do want to talk about them more and do more content on them. And then we have Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Next up is going to seem like blasphemy, but here's Uncharted 2 in a GameStop pre-owned cover in an Xbox One case. Like, I originally had it in, like, just this, you know, bad generic case. And I had quite a few, like, games that just weren't in cases they should have been in. So, this one I feel like, I was like, at the very least, the Xbox case is the same size as the PS3 cases, really, so it won't look too odd, aside from green. And yeah, Uncharted 2, and then Uncharted 3. Yeah, I'm rambling at that point, but there. Uncharted Trilogy. And then we have Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, Tomb Raider 2013, and You Don't Know Jack. I like all 3 of these. I'm not big on the Genesis, to be honest. I'm really not. But Tomb Raider 2013, I love a lot. I really do. And I'd love to talk about it more as well. And then You Don't Know Jack is such a fun party game. Like, I understand playing this, why the Jackbox stuff on current hardware has done so well and people love it, and why it's popular with, like, streamers and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. But that was the PS3, and we move on. And we've been restocked. Here we go. Time for PS4. And we're going to kick off immediately. I've talked about this franchise already. And this is pretty much all the other Assassin's Creed titles. We've got the Ezio Collection. We've got Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which has Liberation Remastered. There's Black Flag. There's Unity. There is Syndicate. And there's Origins. I don't have Odyssey or Valhalla, but I don't even like Origins, and I know I'm not going to like either one of those. But that is all Assassin's Creed. I've always been very interested in Assassin's Creed, and yeah, there's all of those. Burnout Paradise Remastered. I like this game a lot. It's just kind of like dumb fun, racing around, doing all the stuff involved in the open world. Concrete Genie. kind of just like a cute game about painting, you know. I love it a lot. I've started it. I need to jump back into it, though, because I do love it. Control, Remedy's previous game before Alan Wake 2. I, again, am very interested in Control, but I have not actually played it. So, we move on to games I absolutely adore. Here we go. Crash Insane Trilogy. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, which I actually don't really like that much. And Crash 4, which, again, is, yeah, it's a proper Crash Bandicoot 4. Even though I know people do like Wrath of Cortex, and that's fine. Trinsanity was also great. But no, love all these. Got them all. Love them. And yeah. Eventually I will, I don't know if I'll do CTR or Crash 4, but I will end up doing video remakes for Crash 1, 2, and 3. Because yeah, that's something that I've already talked about that I want to do. So there we go. Expect that at some point. Here's Days Gone, which I've started, I think is fine, but I haven't gotten very far. I'll eventually finish it, though. The Deadpool game, because, yeah, it's just a fun, wacky Deadpool game. It's exactly what you'd expect from a Deadpool game. There you go. The Evil Within, a game that I originally only bought because a friend of mine really wanted, at the time, we were still in high school, really wanted me to do a Let's Play of it, and if that friend is watching, I will do it. I will end up doing it. I don't know when, but I will do a Let's Play and finish it. Fallout 4, which again, I'm very interested in Fallout 4, and I think eventually I will play through it, but I just don't know when. Friday the 13th, the game. It's never been opened, and that's a good thing now, because I literally can't play it. It's shut down. The servers are done. But Friday the 13th. Ghost of Tsushima. Again, Sucker Punch's latest game. I love Sucker Punch. I've started it. Haven't gotten very far. I will, though. Again, throughout the last couple of years, I just haven't really been motivated to play anything. But I'm going to try and work on that throughout this year. And this is a game that I should. God of War 2018. I know. A game that deserves all the praise that has been given it. I will end up playing it, but yes, that means I haven't even started it. I know a little bit about it, but yeah. I'll eventually jump into it, because I'm very interested in this, I'm interested in Ragnarok, yeah. But God of War 2018. Guitar Hero Live, genuinely, look, I know Guitar Hero Live, people don't like it. I like Guitar Hero Live a lot, though. It's not better than, like, the best the series has ever been, but I like it, I like the change, and I even vibe a lot with the soundtrack, the set list. I know it's a lot smaller, and like a lot of the stuff that you did have, the content you had, thanks to GHTV, when that shut down, you lost all of it, but hey, GHTV Reloaded is a thing, so that's cool. And then Wii U, as well. I found that really cheap at a Goodwill, so I bought it, because I have a Wii U. So yeah, Guitar Hero Live. Hitman 2, the newer Hitman 2. Stop doing that. God damn it. Stop doing that. No one likes that. No one likes reusing a name that already exists. But yeah, Hitman 2, I've heard and seen it's a lot of fun. I like the first Hitman reboot. And I will eventually play this, just not now. Horizon Zero Dawn. I kind of like with God of War. I have started this one like Ghost of Tsushima, but I find it hard for it to keep my interest, which is a shame because I love the idea. I love how it looks. I love Aloy as a character. But yeah, no. Eventually I will. I will force have to sit down with it and finish it, but that hasn't happened yet. Infamous Second Son. I have First Light digitally as well. But yeah, again, not as strong as the first two. And I'd say, honestly, it's not as strong as First Light, even. First Light was so good for a DLC. I don't care for all of, like, the arena challenges, but I understand why they're there. And, like, they're kind of, like, integral to Fetch as a character in her story. And they're still fun for what they are. But yeah, I still enjoy this a lot. I love that they recently put like the DLC that was locked behind like a pre-order bonus or something, like Cole's Legacy. They recently, sometime last year, maybe 2022, Sucker Punch went and made that free for everyone. So go out and download that because that's really cool. And that gives you some extra content to do as well. So yeah, a lot of fun. Like Second Son a lot. Oh, but also, am I the only one who really loves the smoke powers? Like, Neon's cool, Video's really cool as well. Concrete is not great. Had the potential to be the best one, but not great. But no, I love the smoke powers. Now here's the meme, Knack. I actually don't mind Knack. I think Knack is it's a fine game for what it is. I think it's fairly fun. If not a bit kind of boring, but it's fun for what it is. I know it's a meme, but genuinely, I do like it. And now, here we go. One of my favorite games ever. Not my favorite, though. Here's The Last of Us. We have remastered, as well as that we have Part 1 on PS5. You could argue I shouldn't have spent money on this, and yeah, you're probably right, but, oh well. I still liked it. I swear some of, like, the collectible locations are different in Part 1 to, like, the original and remastered. I swear. Because I've gotten all of the collectibles before, like, a few times, I think. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Some of them seem different in this game. But it's probably just my head. And, of course, Part 2, I went out and got the Steelbook as well. I've said a few times that I'll talk about Part 2, and I will. But, again, just not now. And, of course, I love The Last of Us. I do. I do think Part 1 is stronger than Part 2. But I think I still like Part 2 a good bit. And that's all of those. So yeah, Last of Us. Now, here's like my favorite franchise ever, with my favorite game, Life is Strange. I love Life is Strange a lot. Again, the first game I don't think is the best one, but it's my favorite because I think I played it at like the absolute most just perfect time for me, and I've talked about that before, but yeah, I love this game, I adore this game, and Life is Strange. But then here's the prequel, Before the Storm. I love Before the Storm a lot. And I like how with Before the Storm, it fleshes out Chloe more as a character, makes her a little more relatable. Because I know there's people who genuinely didn't like Chloe in the first game, and I can kind of understand why. I don't agree, but I can kind of understand why. But I like how they flesh her out more as a character here. They make Rachel Lambert more than just a plot device, give her an actual character. The new characters they introduce, like, Steph and Mikey, I think are great. Drew's cool, actually. They initially make you think Drew's going to be just like a big jock dickhead, but he's not. They give him some more depth as well, and yeah. I like Before the Storm a lot. Here is Part 2, which I have digitally, so that's why it's sealed still. And then as well as True Colors, which I bought the Ultimate Edition of True Colors on Xbox, and it got remastered, both 1 and Before the Storm remastered with it. So that's why that one's still sealed as well. But yeah, I love all of these. I think they all do really cool things. And yeah, I like them a lot. And that's like my favorite franchise, has my favorite game in it, and I adore these. And then here's Little Big Planet 3, which I've played a little bit, but at someone else's house, that's why mine is still sealed. Eventually, I like Little Big Planet a lot. I've played a good bit of the first game, never played the second game, played a little bit of this one. I like Little Big Planet a lot. And as well as that, I also have Sackboy: A Big Adventure as well. Go ahead and bring that one up. I like these a lot, like I said. And I will eventually finish both of them, and I would like to talk about them and maybe show them on the channel as well, because they're just fun platformers, which are my jam. More sports games that I don't care about, Madden 25 for the PS4, and Madden 18. Ironically, I think the first edition of Longshot is actually a pretty good story mode. Again, it's not perfect, it's not flawless, it's got issues, but I don't mind it. I thought it was a good time. But then we have the ever great Marvel Spider-Man 2018, which I thought, again, was great. And then we have the one that I really want to play. I need to play. I like it a lot. Miles Morales. I have not played it, but I've heard good things. I've heard a lot of people say genuinely that they prefer Miles, and like they do, and a lot of people genuinely actually do like this game more than this one. So I have this one, and I have Spider-Man 2 digitally as well. So yeah, I need to play them though. I also need 100% this one because I do want to do that. I'm almost there, but I still have I need to finish the second DLC and then do the entirety of the third. But yeah, love Spider-Man a lot. I love the games a lot. I'm actually not into superheroes that much or anything like that, but I like okay, truth bomb here for me. If Insomniac wouldn't have made these, I would not have played them. But I love these a lot. Medieval Remake. You know, I do like this a lot. I've never played the original, but I like the remake of this a lot. It's super fun. It's wacky. It's kind of spoopy. It's not spooky. It's kind of spoopy. I get kind of Nightmare Before Christmas vibes a little bit. It kind of gives me the same kind of feelings as I would watching that. Again, it's just kind of spoopy, and I love it. Now we have a game that I so desperately wanted to be better than I think that it is. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. I know the sequel is announced, aka maybe out. I don't know. But yeah, I wanted this to be good. I love Nickelodeon. I grew up on Nickelodeon. I love so many of these characters. And I went to try and play it, and I thought, okay, the way they marketed this game was okay, if you're into hardcore Smash Bros, maybe even Melee, and that's kind of how they marketed it, it's you're gonna love this game. And I'm like, wow, that is not an accurate representation of the game at all. It's really not. It does not play like Melee. It does not remind me of why I love Melee and why that's my favorite Smash game. It was a big disappointment. They were let's market this to try and get hardcore Smash players in here. Let's market it with memes, and there's not much substance here, I think. But it did well enough to get a sequel, so what do I know? That's probably just my opinion. But here is Oddworld Soulstorm. I'm very interested in Oddworld. I've played some of Munch's Odyssey, actually, when they did the remaster of that on the PS3. And I thought that was actually a fun time, but I've never played the more puzzly, non-3D games, you know? I think that's what this is, kind of. I've never played Abe's Odyssey or anything like that. But I'm very interested. I know the main guy behind it has done some interviews talking about the whole series and his grand plan for it all. And yeah, I'm very interested in it. But I still have not played it because lack of motivation. But it's there. I don't know why I have this, honestly. I'm not that into Plants vs. Zombies, but that's Garden Warfare right there. Games that probably shouldn't be as good or as fun as they are. It's the Quantic Dream Collection, which has Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, and Beyond Two Souls. My favorite is Beyond Two Souls. This is probably the most fun and has probably the best story of any of them if you only really include Hank and Connor. Heavy Rain is a mess story-wise. I like Beyond a lot, actually. I do. With pre-transition Elliot Page. I think he did a great job in here, of course. And yeah, I like Beyond Two Souls a lot. I do understand why some people might, though. It's very strange. Again, Detroit, I think, is probably the most fun out of any of them. And, they try a lot of things that I feel don't really work in Detroit, though I still enjoy the game. Hank and Connor genuinely is very good. Even though most of their lines together, apparently from what I've heard, were completely improv'd. Which David Cage didn't want, but it happened anyway. I like Marcus, but I don't know. His story is so weird in that, I liked it, I understood it, and I understood where they were going for, and, but something just doesn't feel right with his story. there are so many ways you could have told Marcus's story and done it so fucking well, and it's just not done very well here. And I actually love Kara's story. Like, I love Kara's story, where, like, she takes Alice, they meet Luther, and they just want to be a big happy family in Canada. I love that. I love that story. I love it so much. So Kara's story is actually my favorite. But yeah. I do like these games a lot, though. I think they're a lot of fun. But they're kind of fun despite themselves, not because of themselves, you know? If that makes any sense. But that's Quantic Dream Collection. Then we have the HD remaster of Resident Evil 4 and the Resi 2 remake. I like these. I haven't actually played Resident Evil 4. That's probably like a big hole in my gamer cred, if that's even such a thing. I don't think so, but whatever. I said it anyway. And then Resident Evil remake, I started. I like it a lot. I know the game from watching Let's Plays on it as well. Yeah, I love this. And I will eventually finish it myself. And I do want to play this as well. Shadow of the Colossus, a game I wish I liked and appreciated more than I do. But I just can't get into Shadow of the Colossus. Which is a shame, because I remember, again, when I was younger, I remember renting Eco from my local library at the time and liking what I played of that before I had to return it. And it's like, oh hey, this is like a prequel to Eco, and I just can't stay engaged with this game. I just can't. But I know why people love it. I understand it. And maybe eventually. But a game that I love for completely different reasons, SpongeBob Rehydrated. Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I mean, I grew up with SpongeBob. That was my show. I loved it so much. And again, Battle for Bikini Bottom was just a pure love letter to the early show. It's a lot of fun, and I think Rehydrated is also very good. The multiplayer mode is not. Don't play it. That's not good. But the game itself is a lot of fun. It's just like you remember it, for better or worse, and it's great. Love it. Same kind of vibe, Spyro Reignited. I love Spyro. It's funny, having played these now, I don't think I like Spyro quite as much as Crash, but this is like the perfect game, I think, to pair with Crash, because Crash, at times, is incredibly frustrating, because of the level design and all of that. But after getting frustrated with this, you could start playing Spyro, and it's just like, it feels good. It's just a nice, relaxing game, where you can just run around as a cute purple dragon, burning things, and collecting gems. So I think they go together hand in hand. Love them both. Spyro Reignited. Another game like Shadow of the Colossus that I wish I liked a lot more than I do, but here is Sonic Mania Plus. I understand why people love Sonic Mania. I do. I'm just not super into Sonic in general, especially not 2D Sonic, and I wish I appreciated Sonic more. But Sonic Mania, Jedi Fallen Order, I understand why this game is great, and I have started it. I will eventually finish it, but this is sealed because I'm actually playing it on Xbox, and eventually I will go back to it. Here is Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. So Tomb Raider 2014, I guess. And then here's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I have Rise digitally. And yeah, I have not finished Rise. I will eventually. But what I played, I do like a lot. I will eventually get into Shadow. And I love this game right here, as I talked about with Tomb Raider 2013. And yeah. I actually wouldn't mind doing like a Let's Play or some sort of video on this, because I've really been itching to play this game again, and I just keep putting off doing it. So maybe doing a video on it will get me to do that. So we'll see. But Tomb Raider. And from Tomb Raider to Dude Raider, we've got the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, 2 copies of Uncharted 4, and then Lost Legacy. All very good. I've talked about and I've played through like all the Uncharteds. Actually, no, I haven't. I haven't finished 2, and I haven't. Okay, so for the record, me saying that, I've got the platinum for all of these. I finished them all. But specifically for content, I've only done 1 and 4. And Lost Legacy. 1, 4, and Lost Legacy. I haven't finished my Let's Play at 2, and I haven't done a Let's Play at 3. Which will happen at some point, eventually, again. But yeah, love these a lot. I've played through Uncharted a lot. I've talked about them a lot. Fantastic series. This might be my favorite Naughty Dog series, genuinely. I definitely would do, as a series, even though Last of Us, I guess, only has 2 games, really, I would still pick, comparing those 2 games, I would still pick Uncharted as a franchise over Last of Us 1 and 2. But individual games, I would put Last of Us above Uncharted. So yeah, I love both. I love just Naughty Dog in general. And yeah, Uncharted there. Entire series. Until Dawn. I love this horror game. It's great. All about, 8 teenagers, a butterfly effect, and it's a cool horror game. And like, if you understand horror and like the cliches and tropes that are in there, that will actually help you play this game. But also, if you want to play this game, it is an easy platinum. But please, for the love of God, if for some reason you're watching this and you are interested in this game and have not played it, and you want to get the trophies for it, do not do a guide. Please, for the love of God, don't. You will ruin your first playthrough. Play the game first. And again, if you know horror, you know the tropes and cliches, you will understand. You'll understand things a bit more, and will be more likely to get through. With either killing everyone or having everyone survive, or a mix, But yeah, let your first playthrough be a true first playthrough. Don't do a guide or anything like that. Until Dawn's great. Watch Dogs Legion, sealed, haven't played it, I'm not too interested in it. I thought the initial reveal of it, with being set in London and stuff, was cool. I liked the idea of it, but I'm not that into Watch Dogs, and I haven't actually played Watch Dogs at all. I played a tiny little bit of the first game at a convention. But yeah, no. Watch Dogs Legion, though, it's there. And that was PS4, but we're not quite done, so we move on. Here we go. And now it is time for basically the Nintendo special. We'll go through my Wii, my little bit of Wii U, my Switch, and my Game Boy Advance stuff. So here we go. First things first, we have, for some reason, Madden 2002 for the Game Boy Advance. Then we have a Mario Kart game I love so much. Here is Mario Kart Super Circuit. Here's another game I love a lot. Important from my childhood. It's Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots. Here's Power Rangers SPD. Here's Baseball Advance. Here's, once again, Namco Museum. Here's Camp Lazlo, the Leaky Lake games. It's a mini game collection, but I love it a lot. And here is Game Boy Color, WWF Betrayal. But now, let's start. Here we go. On the GameCube, we've got Super Smash Bros. Melee. We've got Brawl. We've got Smash 4. We have Ultimate. And somewhere downstairs, I do have Smash 64 as well. That is a game I bought, but it's not with my collection. Because I don't have a 64, so I figure it's not worth putting in my collection right now. But yeah, so I do have all of them physically, but that is the ones I want to show here, because that's my collection. And yeah, Melee is my favorite, but I just love Smash Bros. It's just fun, I don't need to talk about Smash Bros. I don't need to explain it. But now here's some Sonic games. Sonic games I actually, one of which I do like. But first, here is Sonic Mega Collection. Basically, it's a compilation disc of Genesis games. You know what it is. But a game I do like, actually, is Sonic Heroes. I think it's a lot of fun. I have never finished it, but I will, probably, maybe. Who knows? I like it, though. I like it a lot. Another Namco Museum. Next up, we will talk about Mario Party. My favorite Mario Party, also my first, Mario Party 4. It's actually not my first. I technically played Mario Party 9 first with Tyson because he brought it over to the house one day. But that was a long time ago, and I barely played it. I thought it was fun for what it was, but I also love Mario Party 4. My first true Mario Party. And then there's Mario Party 8, which is fun, but again, not my favorite. But then also, here is Super Mario Party. Again, I think Super Mario Party is still fun to like the more board game aspect of it, but it's still bare bones for what it is, but still fun. And Mario Party Superstars, which again is fun, but it's some of the best stuff from the first 3, with like mini games from the entire series. So yeah, it was gonna be fun. And now time for the old DK, Donkey Kong. Here's Returns, and here's Tropical Freeze on the Switch. And yeah, I love these a lot. DKC is just, I love DKC as like a platformer. These are so good. Like Retro Studios did such a good job with these. And I want to see them do like another new DKC. Because I think, much in the same way as like Rare knew what they were doing with this IP, I want to see what Retro would do with the IP again. So yeah, love these a lot though. Here's Hasbro Family Game Night 3, which is just a bunch of board games on the Wii. It's got Clue, Life, Yahtzee, Twister, Mousetraps. It's a lot of fun. Because if you like board games, so if you like some classic board games, you'll like this. It's fun. Especially with like family or friends. Flank Smash, which is basically just a tech demo for the Wiimote. And here is Fortune Street, which is a very boring board game. It's not good, but it's there. More tech demos for the Wii. We have Game Party and Game Party 3. Again, these are actually fun tech demos. Not all the games are winners, but they work. They function how they intend to, and they are fun for what they are. This is a game that I think my sister bought, but it's in my collection for some reason. Just Dance 2. I'm not super into dancing games, besides DDR. Though actually, because maybe I should play Just Dance more, because I love rhythm games. So maybe I would like it better now. But Just Dance 2. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I have not played it. I've talked about it before with like Breath of the Wild and stuff. I like the idea of Zelda, and I really want to get into the series more. But the only one that's ever gripped me was Wind Waker, so I really wish I had Wind Waker physically, but I don't want to spend the money on that. But there's Twilight Princess. Time for the always fun and reliable Mario Kart. First we got Wii, we got 8 Deluxe. They're the only ones I have physically, and both are fun, both I like a lot. I'm much more likely, obviously, to come back to 8 Deluxe, but Wii, there is something very special about the Wii entry of Mario Kart. A game I wish I had people who were actually interested in to play with me. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Vancouver 2010. I understand, Mario and Sonic really is not very good. But it is dumb, stupid fun, and I love it. There is Mario Strikers Charged. I like this game a lot. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. If you like Mario Strikers, you'll like this game too. Mario Strikers Charged. A digital version of the worst board game ever made, Monopoly. It's also not a Wii U game. I don't know why GameStop used this cover art. It's for the Wii, but it's Monopoly. It's fun when you start playing, and then the more you play it, the more you realize, oh hey, yeah, you remember that this sucks. Monopoly. Naruto Shippuden, Clash of Ninja 3, Revolution on the Wii. I like Naruto. What can I say? There you go. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I like this game. I like the newer 2D Mario games. I think Wonder, I haven't finished it yet, but I think Wonder from what I played is better than like every new Soup game. But it's still fun, because it's just, even the most mediocre is still a fun time. Because it's just a well-made 2D Mario game at the end of the day. And this is no different. Now here's like a Mario Party kind of rip-off, if you will, that genuinely is very good. I love this game a lot. Pac-Man Party. It has no business being as good as it is, And genuinely, for quite a while, I preferred coming back to this game and playing it more than like any Mario Party game. I think it's genuinely very good. I love the mini games in here. And yeah, it's so much fun. Bandai Namco, how did you do this? It's so good. I love it. Here is the Wii version of a game I love so much, and that's Pitfall: The Big Adventure, which is literally just the Lost Expedition. I mean, look at the cover, back cover though. It's literally stuff from probably the GameCube version of the Lost Expedition. Like, they didn't even try to hide it. And yeah, it's literally just Pitfall: The Lost Expedition, but it's, oh hey, you can use motion controls. Or you can play it like a normal person and use the GameCube controller. The motion controls are actually fine. I mean, it can be a bit tiring because, like, to swim you have to do this. But, like, you know, it's fine. I still love the game. Here's probably the worst version of Rock Band 1 to play, the Wii version. Now, admittedly, you do get extra songs. You know, you get Dirty Little Secret, which I love. You get a song by the B-52s. You get Oasis's... You get the Oasis song, Don't Look Back in Anger, The Police, Roxanne, The Ramones, Rockaway Beach. Like, you get 5 extra songs, which is cool. But, alternatively, Rock Band 1 for the Wii is so incredibly difficult to play because you have to have very specifically Rock Band 1 Wii instruments to play it. It's a pain in the ass to actually get this started, so, yeah. But Rock Band 1 for the Wii. Here's Super Mario All-Stars for the Wii. So yeah, it's literally just Super Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo, but they removed Super Mario World, which I don't think every cartridge of Super Mario All-Stars even had Super Mario World in it to begin with. So, but yeah, it's just like, I guess, the original release of Super Mario All-Stars. I don't know. But yeah, it's Mario 1, Lost Levels, Mario 2 USA, and Mario 3. And this was the way I did the original Super Mario Bros. Let's Play. Was through that, and when I did the video remake, I did Super Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo app. So yeah. And it's the classic Mario games. It's fun if you like Mario. There you go. Mario Galaxy 1. And yeah, it's Mario Galaxy. I've gotten pretty far in it. I mainly play it on the Switch from 3D All-Stars now. But it's Mario Galaxy. I like 3D Mario games. I like Mario games. So, yeah, Mario. What can I say? Another game I wish I liked more than I do, Super Paper Mario. I played a little bit of it, and it's fun, but RPGs, it's so hard for them to keep my interest, and I don't know why. Because I don't dislike them. I think a lot of them are very interesting, and I love, like, the lore and the world building and the lore and all of that. But like, yeah, I don't know. Again, maybe eventually I'll finish it, but that's Super Paper Mario. There's Wii Fit. It's Wii Fit. Then we have some more tech demos. We have Wii Play, which again is fine. Not every game's a winner, but it's fine. And then we have the best tech demos on the Wii, let's be honest. We have Wii Sports, and then somehow they improved Wii Sports with Wii Sports Resort. Both are still very fun, hold up today. They're great. Yeah, like, I don't need to sit here explaining Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. They're both fantastic. And then here's another one of my sister's games that is in my collection for some reason, Zumba Fitness Core. Basically another dancing game, but meant for you to try and, exercise and lose weight. Here's a Nintendo launch title tech demo that's not quite as good as Wii Sports. 1-2 Switch. Again, it's still fun, but it's only fun for, like, the first little bit you play it. But it's there. Now we have a game I was very interested in. I really want to play it, I just haven't got around to it. And that's Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. Again, when they did the direct and they announced this, I thought it looked amazing. It immediately appealed to me. I love the look of it. I wanted to play it, and I will eventually. I just, again, haven't got around to it. And then we have Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Switch. And yeah, I love Captain Toad. Toad's my favorite character. I mean, Toad. Toad! I love Toad. Toad's my favorite character in Mario. Like, Toad's just so cute and adorable. And this is not the only Toad plush I have. And yeah, so Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker is just a really nice, cool, relaxing, cute game. And the re-release of it also gives you, as you can see on the cover, it gives you some extra courses from Mario Odyssey, or based around Mario Odyssey. So another game that I've always been interested in, and I really want to play through and finish, but I have not done that. Final Fantasy X and X-2. So yeah, there's those. I really want to like it. I really want to get into it, but I just haven't got into it yet. Zelda Breath of the Wild. I understand why people love it. I've tried so many times to start playing it and get through it, and I just haven't managed to get through it yet. But there's Breath of the Wild. Mario Golf Super Rush. I started it, barely played it, and it's Mario Golf. Now, games I do love a lot. Here we go. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. A game that features the Rabbids has no business being good. And Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is so very good. I love it so much. It took a long time for me to make my way through it, but I love it so much. I love the Donkey Kong DLC, probably even more than the base game. And here's Sparks of Hope, the sequel to it. And I have not gotten very far, but I will finish it. Like I said, it took me a long time to get through this one. But I love these. I just love them so much, yes. Mario and Rabbids. And to finish up, here we go. We've got Super Mario 3D All-Stars. We've got Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. And we have Super Mario Odyssey. All right there in this collection here of 3 games. Yes. I love it. 3D World is obviously 3D World. We know how good 3D World is. Like, even if you haven't played it, you've probably heard about it, seen some stuff of it on the Wii U. It's 3D World. It's great. And Bowser's Fury genuinely is like a good, like, proper 3D Mario game, even if very small. There's a lot of content packed in there, and it's a lot of fun. Odyssey, I wish I liked more than I do, but again, kind of like with Breath of the Wild, I just have not... It didn't do much for me compared to other entries that did grip me. And then this, obviously, was a very, at the time, easy to get, affordable way of playing 64 Sunshine and Galaxy 1. And I got it, and I love it. Because, yes, it means I can play Sunshine very easily without spending a ton of money on buying Sunshine used. So, yeah. I would have bought this game for $60, even if it was just Sunshine, personally, because that is my favorite 3D Mario game. I know, hot take, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to defend it right now. I love Sunshine. 64 is good. Mario Galaxy 1 is good. Yes. And that's all of them. That is all of them. There we go. And that is my entire physical video game collection in one video. And this is a proper video remake. And this has been a long time coming, something I've been meaning to do for a long time. I kept putting it off, like I said at the start. And I'm so glad I finally found the motivation to do it. Here we go. This is going to be a bitch to edit. Almost 3 hours worth of footage to go through. But, hey, you know what? It'll be fine. It'll be cool. It was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed looking through my entire physical video game collection. I do want to do something similar for all my music as well, which I will do at some point. But for now, that was my entire physical video game collection in one video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment below, share on social media, do all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.